I'm Mark Matsumoto and welcome to my Tokyo kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make a homemade Japanese garlic fried rice, like the ones you get at teppanyaki restaurants, so stick around. Garlic rice is served as the last course at Japanese steakhouses which cook on steel flat tops called teppan. At some point, someone mistakenly started calling these hibachis, which is why this dish is also known as hibachi rice. But regardless of what you call it, it's delicious and easy to make at home in a frying pan. For my version, I double down on the garlic, starting with garlic-infused oil and finishing the rice off with garlic butter and crispy garlic chips. It's flavorful enough to make a meal on its own, but it's also a delicious side dish for a thick, juicy steak or even my tofu teriyaki from last week. Sounds good, right? Let's have a look at our ingredients. I've got 345 grams of stale leftover short grain rice, 9 grams of garlic, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, a quarter teaspoon of my umami salt, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, some black pepper, and flat leaf parsley for garnish. The first thing you want to do is wet your hands and crumble up the leftover rice so there are no clumps. It may sound odd to use stale rice, but short grain rice contains a high ratio of amylopectin, which makes it sticky until the rice starts to retrograde. This process locks up the moisture in the rice, making it dry and crumbly, which is exactly what you want for a stir fry. Next, I'm gonna thinly slice 2/3 of the garlic. It needs to be a uniform thickness to get it to crisp evenly without burning, so I like to do this with a mandolin. Then we're gonna grate the rest of the garlic into a bowl with some butter that's been softened to room temperature. Now I'm just gonna mash the garlic into the butter to make a compound garlic butter. This is gonna help us distribute the garlic evenly into the rice when we cook it, so you don't end up with any surprises. Finally, I'm gonna remove the stems from the parsley, bunch it up on a cutting board, and chop it up. This is more for color than flavor, so you don't need a ton, but make sure you mince it up as finely as possible. Before we make our fried rice, I'm gonna make some garlic oil as well as some garlic chips. So add the oil and sliced garlic to a pan over medium-low heat and spread them out into a single layer. Then you want to start flipping the garlic over to make sure they brown evenly. It's easiest to do this with chopsticks, but metal tongs with a thin tip will work. Once the sizzling subsides and the garlic starts to turn tan around the edges, get them out of the pan. The garlic's gonna go from tan to burnt in a matter of seconds, so it's important to work quickly here. Now we have some super fragrant garlic oil, so add the rice and break up any remaining clumps while tossing the pan to coat the rice evenly with the garlic oil. The goal here is to quickly sear the outside of the rice so we get some Maillard browning before the starch heats up and gets sticky again. Once the rice starts getting a little crusty on the outside, I'm gonna season it with my umami salt. This is just salt that's been enhanced with powderized kombu and shiitake mushrooms, and I'll link to the recipe in the description down below. Then I'm gonna crack in some freshly ground black pepper. To finish it off, I'm gonna hit the rim of the pan with some soy sauce. This caramelizes it almost instantly, which is gonna give the rice a delightfully nutty flavor that's kinda like rice crackers. Now we just need to stir fry this and toss this together so our garlic rice doesn't end up looking like a calico cat. Okay, our rice is looking and smelling pretty amazing, but there's one more thing. The garlic butter. By adding it in at the end like this, we're able to add the flavor of fresh garlic and make the fried rice rich and creamy without being greasy. Give it a few more tosses, and let's get this onto our plate. You could mold the rice into a bowl to give it a nice shape, but this is a rustic dish, so I'm just gonna mound it up onto a dark plate like this. Then I'm gonna hit it with a sprinkle of parsley. To finish it off, I'm gonna top our rice with some of those crispy garlic chips from earlier. And our teppanyaki style garlic rice is ready to eat. I don't think I need to tell you how good garlic butter smells, but this is just next level. So let's try it out. Itadakimasu. Oh man, those garlic chips are so crispy. All right, let's get a garlic chip here with a good chunk of rice. The ingredients are super simple, but you've got that textural contrast of that chewy short grain rice with the little bits of crisp garlic in there. And on the flavor side, you've got that rich cultured butter that almost tastes like cheese, along with the fresh garlic. And because we drizzled that soy sauce around the rim of the pan, it's caramelized on some of the rice. So you get these little specks of savory umami. And when you combine that with the crispy garlic chips, it provides a depth that's like the difference between a 2D movie and a 3D IMAX movie. This Japanese garlic rice is as good as the stuff you get at teppanyaki restaurants, but it's super simple to make at home, so I hope you'll give it a try. So good. Well, I'm gonna feed the rest of this to my family, so I'm not sleeping on the couch tonight. But check out this playlist for more things you can pair with this, and I'll catch you in the next one.